Number 7 says factorize. Factorization is the opposite of expansion. Expansion, when you're expanding, we expanded already. A couple of times we have expanded, we have multiplied. Here we expanded. Look at a classic example. You multiply and add. You multiply and add the powers. So in expansion, what is normally going on in a lot of cases, you have to multiply and add the powers. Factorization is the reverse of multiplication. For factorization, you have to divide and subtract the powers. Factorization means putting back into brackets. So let's say, for example, you've got x plus 12, for example, 8x plus 12. And this, you would like to factorize it, meaning your final answer must have brackets. It must have brackets, and there must also be a coefficient outside of the bracket. So the first step in factorizing is to try to find out what comes outside of the bracket. What comes outside of the bracket, if you are dealing with numbers, is the highest common factor between the coefficients. The coefficients here are 8 and 12. 12 is like a constant because it isn't a letter before, but there's an x to the power of 0, you know. This is x plus 12x to the power of 0, you know, because anything to the power of 0 is 1. So 12 can be considered a coefficient of x to the 0. The whole point is to get the highest common factor, a number that can go into them, the highest one, which is 4. Our knowledge of numbers tells us it's 4. As soon as you identify the highest common factor, you write it, and then you open a bracket one time. You write it down, which is 4, and then you open a bracket because x is not common, so it stays with the 8. Now, would like to know what comes into the bracket. What goes inside of the bracket? There comes the divide now. That's where the division comes in. To know what comes into the bracket. So I'm going to create a pair of brackets to demonstrate how the division process is going to take place, to know what's going into the bracket. We have an 8x and we have a positive 12. 8x have to divide by the 4. Whatever is outside of the bracket, you have to put it as a division. And the 12 have to divide by 4 also. So that is how you're going to know what comes into the bracket, by dividing that coefficient that is outside of the bracket, dividing each term by it. The reverse process of expansion, which is multiplication. Factorization implies division. Divided by 4 is 2x. And as you are doing this, you're monitoring if you can get that back. So you monitoring, if I multiply 4 by 2x, will I get back 8x? Yes. So you can verify your answer as you go along. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Will I get back the 12 if I multiply? 4 3s are 12. Factorization is the reverse process of expansion, which implies division and subtraction. The subtraction did not happen yet because we did not have like letters, same letters to subtract the powers. So that's why division alone took place here.